What's up, guys? Welcome back to another week of my trading journey. I hope you've had a good trading week. I've had quite a bit of news this week, and it's been quite impactful in the markets. We had CPI for the US dollar, and yeah, I hope your trading went very well for you. My trading has gone quite well this week for me, and I've actually executed when I saw a setup, unlike last week when I saw setups and I ignored them basically. So I'll go on the charts very shortly and show you what trades I've taken for this week and also how they're doing at the moment, and also what I'm basically planning ahead for next week essentially. There is quite a bit of red folder news, I have to admit, for next week. The biggest one is the federal funds rate. I believe it's on Wednesday it is. But that's coming out. That's going to be quite a big one. But yeah, every single day next week we pretty much have red folder news. So there hopefully will be a lot of volume in the market for us to trade. Let's now go over to the charts and I'll show you straight away the trade I've taken. So the trade I've taken, essentially, if we go down to the 15-minute, it was on the 15-minute that I took it. And it's this trade here. Now, let's zoom out a tiny bit just so you understand what I'm basically doing on this. So the bigger picture for me on this is a big move up on the 4-hour you can see, and even on the daily you can see it as well. Very recently we've just been having a big push on EA, and it's just been going non-stop basically. Now I am expecting this to come and correct something like this before we get any more upside basically. So that's what I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to get in this first push down essentially of this bigger correction. Now with that explanation there, on the 1 hour basically what I'll be looking for, or even lower, is any sell setups I possibly see. So if we go down to the 15-minute time frame, this is actually where I took my entry, and it didn't really break any structure, which isn't ideal, but it did give me a sharp move down, and then I could clearly see a correction, and then it also gave me a signal to enter for the sell setup. So my stop was quite tight. This was a 0.5% risk in two different positions, so 0.25% on each position. And this is actually just before the CPI news came out, which was this wick here, from all the way from here to here was the CPI news basically. Even though Euro Australian dollar isn't really correlated with the US dollar, everything I believe is sort of correlated with the US dollar. The US dollar moves a lot, even if it's not even in that pair basically. So I very, very quickly moved to break even, but I also closed half of my positions here. This is quite early on, so I was 50% out at this level, and I made 1% on this close so far. So I'm 1% up at this point, and I've been able to move my second position to break even at just here. It obviously came back up, but it didn't take me out, and it's kept moving down, and I'm still currently in this trade as we speak. The reason I took off half here and also moved to break even very quickly is because this could have also, instead of being that big move down, it could have actually been just a smaller correction for this last move, and then we could have been going up one more time to break this top basically, and that way it would have taken me out, and I would have still made a bit of profit on it anyway. So I've been holding this for quite a few days now, and it actually is positive swaps, which is quite nice and actually quite lucky. So I can hold it as long as I want essentially and keep gaining money from it. But it's broken down quite a lot, came all the way down to 11-to-1 profit, and shot back up and gave us sort of this messy structure for more down. Now at this point here, I was at work today and I was questioning to myself if I should sort of move it to break even. Sorry, not break even. If I should move it slightly lower down my stop from here down to here, just to protect a little bit more of my profits. But that's not really the intention of this trade. One thing I want to practice doing more and more is being disciplined in terms of, I have a bigger picture bias, so I need to be sticking with it and trusting it, because the profit I get on that bigger time bias is immense if I can actually trust it and stick with it. So I've already taken partials, I've already made money from this trade, I'm at break even, so I have nothing to lose at this point, right? It's basically FOMO. I want to make sure I secure this profit. So this is currently the structure I see for this. So I currently believe this is a running flat at the moment, and we did get a sharp move actually before breaking this top, which is cool. Exactly what I wanted to see. So at this point, if we get any little small corrections, keep dropping to the downside would definitely be ideal. Now, where I'm actually looking to get out is at 18 to 1, which sounds insane of a risk to reward, but it's just below this last level here. Now, the reason for that, if we go a little bit out, because I'm expecting a bigger correction, what I'll be basically expecting is this is my corrective structure, but I think this is the first wave of a bigger corrective structure. So after it will break that, I will then expect some mess here for one more down, for then one more big move up, basically. And I don't want to be in the market at this period of time. So I'm basically just trying to harness this first move to the downside. So I'll get out here and get lots of profit if it actually does give it to me, that is. But unless it does that, I'll still be sticking at break even for the moment and gaining positive swaps on this pair. Now, this is actually the only trade I've taken this week, even though it's been a very, very nice one. But if we go over to the different charts now, on EU, it's been doing exactly what I thought, keep pushing up. Now, the one thing it's not really doing yet, which I would hope it would, is give some sort of bigger correction to this last move that I could actually look to buy it. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, it's a little bit messy on the lower time frames. This doesn't look too impulsive to me, but I guess you could count it. So if this does give a corrective structure, well, I guess it currently sort of already has. This could be going down more. But I just want to see a bit more clarity on the lower time frame. I would have much preferred something like this. But obviously, that's not how the market works all the time. It doesn't always give you what you exactly want to see. Let's go on to pound yen. This one's been an absolute mess, to be honest with you. Which, I mean, that's standard for the yen pairs, basically. It's absolute chaos. I haven't really been looking at any setups on this, to be honest with you. There was, I think, one setup here on the 15-minute, which I was looking at, but it made a contraction and then dropped like that. What I was hoping to see is it would have done something like this, and if it came up there, I definitely could have sold it for more downside, but it didn't really give that. It just went without me, and that's fine as well. But at the moment, this is honestly too messy for me to basically put my hands on, so I'm just staying away from it. Gold, I actually might take a trade on gold today. It's currently 4:30, and at 5 p.m. I might take a trade depending what the 4-hour candle here looks like. We have tapped the 3K level I mentioned in my last video. Now from this level, we have actually got a reaction and it's pushed straight off of it. Now, what I'm basically looking for in this situation is that this could be a correction. This could also be another correction, and we could have a 5-wave corrective structure for one more drop, something very messy like this for one more up, basically. But this down move here is what I'm really wanting to trade at the moment. So if we go down to a lower degree, that is basically what I'll be looking for. So on the 4-hour, 1 hour, whatever the entry could be, I mean, at the moment, it's broken some structure. So if this does correct, definitely can be looking to sell this more down. But that's pretty much it for the moment. So what I'm basically expecting for the next week is what I've been expecting last week as well. I'm hoping EU sort of gives some sort of corrective structure that tells me it's going to go up more, because the upside is what I'm really interested in at the moment on this pair. Pound yen, I'm going to be honest with you, this one I'm a little bit confused on because it's such a mess here, and nothing's really completely clear at the moment. I'm just staying away from it until I see any clear structure, essentially. Euro Aussie, this one is fairly clear. This is the last push move up. Obviously, I've said what I'm basically wanting to see is a bigger corrective structure to this last move, which is what I'm trying to trade at the moment before it goes to the upside any further. Now, that is obviously why I've been selling it on the 15-minute, getting my trade here, and then writing it down, and hopefully it gives me a nice little profit margin on this one. And that's pretty much it for the 4 pairs. If we actually bring up my account here, so as you can see, it's currently sitting at 4,400. Now, that is the close value, meaning that is excluding my current position open at the moment. So that's basically 2% currently up on the account, which is great. Obviously, this tells a different story here, because at the moment right here, it says almost 5%, but that's because it's running at the moment, because I made the 1% here on the 12th when I closed half of it. that was half of the position. I still have one more of these open at the moment, still running on EA selling, which would be great, but I don't really want that. I want something bigger. What I'm really looking for is something a lot more bigger time frame, which is what I basically need to keep focusing on to make sure I keep my head in the game. And really, it's pushing my discipline at the moment, because I've been in situations like this where I've been in a winning trade and I have a higher time frame bias, but I just can't hold on to it because I see how high the profits get and I just want to take it and secure it. You know, it's not a healthy mindset to have. I need to be very comfortable with just sitting at break even and letting it play out, basically. Now, I don't really have any other news, to be honest with you. I am now working Mondays, as I've told you before. So hopefully I don't miss out on any trades on that Monday. If we do get like 50-minute setups, I probably won't be taking them, because one thing I actually do on MetaTrader on my FTMO account is use a piece of software that calculates lot sizes for me, so I get very specific lot sizes. And it's a lot harder to do that on your phone while I'm also working, when I should be working, so I can't be checking it all the time. And yeah, it's not really ideal in that situation. I think the only thing I would really take at work in terms of trades will be 4-hour time frame trades, but those don't really set up on Mondays, to be honest with you. So most of Monday morning is pretty much a write-off for me, but it's fine because I am working. It's great to have the extra income, and I can still trade full-time 3 days a week, which are the highest trading volume days of the week, I personally think. Now, I know it's been quite a shorter one than usual, and I appreciate you stopping by. If you're new to the channel, I basically document my FTMO journey of trying to get funded. I've been doing this for a year and a half now, but I've only been documenting it for about probably how many months now? Probably 5-6 months now. It's been a while, but yeah, only been documenting a short period of time. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, guys, make sure to subscribe. I really would appreciate all the support. And yeah, you can see me grow on this journey that I've been doing for an absolute crazy amount of time, basically. So if you like the video, make sure to like it. I really do appreciate it. But obviously, if you dislike it, dislike the video. Not a problem. I don't mind you expressing your opinion. Let me know in the comments if you had any great trades this week. I really look forward to reading them. And yeah, happy trading, guys. Speak to you again next Sunday.